Have you ever thought about what it would be like to not just live to 100, but to actually thrive at 100? To see old age as a time of vitality, not weakness? Well, believe it or not, a place like that really exists. And today, we're going to take a look at its secrets. Welcome to the Okinawan Blueprint. So what if the key to hitting that triple-digit birthday isn't some miracle cure or winning a complex genetic lottery? What if it's just a series of small, simple choices you make every day? That's the reality on the Japanese island of Okinawa, one of the world's few blue zones, and it really does offer a powerful blueprint for the rest of us. Yeah, scientists actually call these places blue zones because, well, living to be 100 years old there is pretty much normal. And after studying them for decades, they figured out it's not some kind of magic, it's their way of life. And the best part, it's a way of life we can actually learn from.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, the first big piece of the Okinawan puzzle starts right on the dinner plate. But here's the twist. It's less about what they're eating and so much more about how they're eating.
It all centers around this one powerful concept, hara hachibu. It's a mindful practice that's been passed down for generations. And the idea is pretty simple. Instead of eating until you're completely stuffed, you just stop when you're satisfied. You leave a little bit of room. You know how it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain, hey, I'm full? Well, this practice builds in a natural buffer against accidentally overdoing it. So that 20% gap, that's where the magic is. Think of it like giving your body a little break after every single meal instead of pushing it to its absolute limit. By eating just a little less, Okinawans reduce all that daily wear and tear on their systems. This gentle approach is linked to less inflammation, and it kicks off something called autophagy, which is just a fancy way of saying your body goes into deep cleaning mode. It keeps their metabolism humming and their energy levels high, not just for a day, but for a lifetime. And what fills up that 80%? Well, their plate is almost entirely plant-based. We're talking vibrant purple sweet potatoes, all kinds of leafy greens, and soy products like tofu and miso. Sure, a little bit of fish might show up a few times a week, but the real foundation, the star of the show, is always those colorful, nutrient-packed plants. Okay, so beyond diet, the second pillar is movement. But if you're picturing these intense, high-impact gym sessions or people training for marathons, you might want to think again. The Okinawan approach to fitness is fundamentally different.
And here's the key difference. For a lot of us, right, exercise is this thing we have to schedule. We got to force ourselves to do it. For Okinawans, movement is just woven into the fabric of their day. It's not an event, it's natural. It's consistent, and it's all about keeping the body flexible and resilient for the long, long haul.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it's tending to a garden, which, involves a lot of bending, lifting, and stretching. It's walking over to a friend's house or to the market instead of just hopping in the car. It might be gathering to practice a traditional dance, or even just doing some light stretches while you're chatting with friends. All these little things add up to a life that's just constantly, gently in motion. We've talked diet, we've talked movement, but honestly, this next piece of the puzzle, this third pillar, it might just be the most powerful one. It's the mental and social framework that gives their lives so much meaning. It's a concept called ikigai, and put simply, it's your reason to get up in the morning. For some people, that might be their job. But for an Okinawan elder, their ikigai could be mastering a craft, passing down traditions to their grandkids, or even just nurturing their garden. It's like a personal North Star that gives every day a sense of purpose. And this is absolutely key. When you have an ikigai, you never truly retire from life. You always have a role to play, a contribution to make. And that powerful sense of purpose is like an antidote to the stress and the feeling of aimlessness that can so often come with getting older. And here's the best part. You don't pursue your ikigai all by yourself. In Okinawa, community is everything. They form these really tight-knit social circles called moai, which are basically groups of friends who support each other for life. This built-in network gives them financial, emotional, and social support, which just melts away stress and keeps life joyful. So after looking at their diet, their movement, and their sense of purpose, what does this all mean for us? Let's try to distill it all down into a simple, actionable blueprint that we can actually use. It really all comes down to 4 core principles. Number 1, shift your plate so it's mostly full of plants. 2, find ways to just weave natural movement into your day. 3, nurture a sense of purpose, your ikigai. And number 4,
invest in your community, your people, and stay connected. And that's really the ultimate lesson here. A long life isn't the result of some huge heroic effort. It's the cumulative effect of all the small, mindful choices you make, day in and day out. It's about building a life that isn't just long, but one that is deeply healthy and truly satisfying.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. You don't have to change everything overnight, of course not. But what's one small thing you could borrow from the Okinawan blueprint and try out today? Maybe it's stopping just before you feel full tonight, or maybe it's taking a walk to go see a friend. The journey to a longer, better life can start right there.